Salmon fish get to know an interesting and strange life journey. In the state of California in America, there was a fish farm, and suddenly the owner of the farm found a large fish different from the fish they had on the farm. So they asked themselves two questions. The first question is, what came to this fish they have on the farm? And the second question is that it fish is of this size and is about 3 years old from it is supposed to be in salt water. So why it is on the farm? So they examined the pond and on the farm and found that one of the wire of the fish pond had a hole, and notes that these ponds are connected to its branching from the river, meaning that there is a river and it has one set of branches, and one of the branches in the formation of the firm, um, and this is considered an answer to this fish question. From where it come, as they examined the fish itself and found that the logo of the farm is on the fish, and meaning of that is that is it was born on the farm, and then try to explain what is the reason for the existence of this fish that appeared after a year suddenly. And from here began studies on the story of the fish and how the salmon life beginning in 1964. Salmon live in a low temperature between 20 and 22 degrees. But if a rise in temperature occurs, the fish dies or spends, and the average age of the fish is between 2 to 8 years, and it was found that about 50% of the fish die in the first week of its birth. Salmon life is distinguished from the rest of the fish that they can live in fresh water and salt water, while most of the fish either live in salt water only or live in fresh water only, as it is distinguished that they can live in difficult conditions and to overcome this condition. How do it start? The life of the fish begin its life to live in the river. The mother fish lays eggs, and each egg contains a bag containing the fish food. So that once the fish comes out of the eggs, it will have a food bag for it, because the mother fish dies as soon as its eggs are laid. The new fish will be without a mother, so the food bag will depend on it for a period of weeks until it can practice its life on its own and eat from river where it was born and practice its life like fish. When it grow up and grow during a period of 1 to 2 years, it is heading to the journey of life, and it is to swimming in the river, heading to the salty water and the ocean. It live in Pacific or the Atlantic Ocean. That is, it live the fresh water and lives in a salty water. And as a result, change occur in its body so that it can fit the salty water and stay in the salt water from a long period of time, up to 4 years, and live its life heading to the beaches. It lives in life, and when the breeding time is near, the fish return to the place where it was born to lay eggs, in which the fish head to the return journey in the same direction from which it came, swimming against the current and against the direction of waterfalls as it desolate against the stream a distance of 3 meters in length and continue on its journey to return the place the one it was born in it. But the question is how the fish, after living for a long period in water and passing on more than one beach, how do it return to its citizen? It was born here. It was found that the fish has a compass, the salt water it can, during which it determines the direction it came from. It continued to swimming until it reached fresh water. Therefore, the second question was asked, how does the fish know its exact location, where it was born? Since when the sea met the river, there are many rivers. How do it know which river it was born in, and found that each river has a distinct smell that different from other rivers? The fish can throw a device in its body that distinguishes the smell of the river that was born in it, and fish turn to it. Therefore, the miracle is that it can determine the place in which it was born accurately. After its journey in the river or in the seas and ocean to determine the place that it left 4 years ago. For example, we are a human. If we were born in one place and left this place and live in another place, so if he wants to return for his place of birth, he will get lost and ask someone to find out the exact location. The life of a fish starts its life as a small egg. When a small fish comes out of these eggs, it eats from the bag in which the food is attached to it. It lives on it from a period of weeks. Then it eats from the river for a period of 1 to 2 years. It head to the ocean and the seas and live in it for up to 4 years. Then after a period it need to return to multiply at the place of birth, and in order to multiply it return from the same direction that it came from and swim against the stream, and this need effort from it. Fresh fish was born in it by smelling the river where it was born and lays eggs, and then the fish will die after a short period. When does the fish fast? The fish fast the first time they reach the river after their return trip from salt water, because fasting makes them more mobile. They lose a lot of fats and grease as a result of the effort they made on the return trip, and also lays eggs. And it's noted that during laying eggs, the male fish protects the female fish during the laying of eggs, and the female fish takes a small bit and then lays eggs that reach from 2,500 to 4,500 eggs, and after then the breeding process, the fish feel very tired as a result of long journey for period, and then the fish dies on the surface of the river. And when the, the death of the fish, there will be other being waiting for this feast of fish and feeding on them, such as fox and some bird. Of course, these fish are precious meal for being, because these fish contain many benefits, because they contain omega-3, so that scientists have noted that the pregnant woman, when eats salmon meal 2 once a week, the fetus is better and more activity than the woman who didn't eat salmon. Please, my friend, don't forget activate the bell sound and subscribe to the channel. Thanks to you.